It echoes through time, a whisper, then a roar. A day etched in history, forever intertwined with the spirit of liberation. Juneteenth, a day that marks the triumph of resilience over adversity. A day that reminds us of the enduring power of hope, even in the face of unimaginable hardship. It's a story that needs to be told, a story that needs to be heard. This is the story of Juneteenth. Two and a half years after the Emancipation Proclamation, on June 19, 1865, Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, with a momentous announcement. Standing on the balcony of Ashton Villa, he read aloud General Order No. 3, proclaiming the freedom of all enslaved people in Texas. The news spread like wildfire, igniting a wave of jubilation and disbelief among the newly emancipated. For the first time, they tasted the sweet nectar of freedom, a freedom that had been denied for far too long. Tears of joy streamed down weathered faces as families, long separated by the cruelty of slavery, were reunited. The air crackled with a mixture of emotions, relief, exhilaration, and the bittersweet realization that freedom, though hard-won, was finally theirs. The celebrations that erupted in Galveston that day marked the beginning of Juneteenth. It was a day of liberation, a day of remembrance, and a day of hope. From that day forward, Juneteenth became a symbol of the enduring human spirit, a testament to the unwavering belief in the promise of freedom. It was a day to reflect on the sacrifices made by those who came before, and a day to look towards a brighter future. Word of Juneteenth spread throughout the South, carried on the winds of change and the hopes of a people yearning for a better tomorrow. From Texas to Louisiana, from Mississippi to Virginia, African Americans celebrated their newfound freedom with a joyous spirit that echoed across the nation. Over the years, Juneteenth evolved, adapting to the changing times while staying true to its core values. It became a time for families and communities to come together, to share stories, and to honor the legacy of their ancestors. From picnics and parades to church services and educational events, Juneteenth celebrations took on many forms, reflecting the diversity and richness of African American culture. Juneteenth is not just a celebration of the past, it's a celebration of the present and a call to action for the future. It's a reminder that the fight for equality and justice is ongoing, and that we all have a role to play in creating a more just and equitable society. Juneteenth is a time to reflect on how far we've come and to recommit ourselves to the ongoing struggle for freedom and justice for all. The story of Juneteenth begins in a nation divided by the chains of brutal slavery and the growing clamor for abolition. The early 1860s in America was a period marked by seething tensions that eventually erupted into the Civil War. It was during this time that the foundation for Juneteenth was laid, a foundation built on the hopes and the resilience of countless enslaved people yearning for liberation. The Emancipation Proclamation, signed by President Abraham Lincoln, was a crucial turning point. However, its promise was delayed in reaching every corner of the Confederacy. This delay created a surreal world where freedom was both a legal reality and a distant dream yet to be realized. The duality of this period is essential to understanding the significance of Juneteenth. As the war dragged on, the proclamation was initially limited in its effect. It declared the freedom of slaves in rebelling states but did not apply to those in border states loyal to the Union. This partial liberation highlighted the complex political and military strategies at play, but also underscored the moral imperative driving the abolitionist movement. The proclamation was not merely a document, but a beacon of hope that promised a new era. The seeds of Juneteenth were sown in this turbulent soil. As battles raged and soldiers fought, the enslaved watched and waited, their fates hanging in the balance. Their struggles and hopes set the stage for the remarkable events that would unfold in Texas in 1865, events that would culminate in an extraordinary celebration of freedom. On January 1, 1863, amidst the smoke and strife of the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. This pivotal document declared that all persons held as slaves in rebellious states were to be set free. This bold executive order was both a war measure and a profound declaration of human rights, altering the course of the war and the nation. The proclamation did not immediately free a single slave, but it fundamentally transformed the character of the conflict. The war for the Union morphed into a battle for human liberty. African American men were recruited into the Union Army and Navy, turning the tide of war with their valor and hastening the downfall of the Confederacy. Moreover, the proclamation signaled a moral victory for the abolitionists and a beacon of hope for the enslaved. It altered international perceptions, dissuading Britain and France from intervening on behalf of the Confederacy. The global dimension of the proclamation underscored its significance not just as a domestic policy, but as a statement of America's ideals to the world. The impact of this document was profound, yet its promises were not realized overnight. In many parts of the South, including Texas, the proclamation was obstructed, its messages stifled by the chaos of war and the resistance of Confederate sympathizers. This resistance set the stage for the unique narrative of Juneteenth, a narrative characterized by delayed justice and the persistent struggle for freedom. Texas, due to its geographical remoteness and minimal Union presence, remained an enclave where the Emancipation Proclamation's echoes were barely heard till 1865. Life in Texas for the enslaved continued much as it had before, with many unaware of the seismic shifts occurring in the broader nation. This ignorance was meticulously maintained by slaveholders who stood to lose the most from emancipation. Despite the official declaration, the reality on the ground was starkly different. Slavery's footprint remained deeply embedded, and the news of freedom traveled at a painstakingly slow pace, hindered by both geography and deliberate suppression. This delay highlights a critical aspect of the Juneteenth story: the dissonance between law and practice, between freedom decreed and freedom achieved. As 1865 dawned, the Civil War drew to a close with the surrender of Confederate General Robert E. Lee in April. However, in Texas, many enslaved people remained in bondage, their liberation a withheld promise. This period of waiting was a testament to the resilience and patience of those who were enslaved, holding on to hope amidst despair. The anticipation of freedom grew, fed by rumors and whispers of the war's end and Lincoln's proclamation. This growing awareness set the stage for the dramatic events in mid-June 1865, when the arrival of Union forces would finally shatter the shackles of slavery in Texas, turning rumor and hidden truth into glorious reality. General Gordon Granger's arrival in Galveston, Texas on June 19, 1865, marked a pivotal moment in American history. With the Civil War concluded, Granger's mission was clear but daunting: to enforce the emancipation of the last remaining slaves in one of the most stubborn holdouts of the Confederacy. His arrival was unceremonious, yet the implications were monumental. Accompanied by a force of 2,000 Union troops, Granger was determined to overcome any resistance. His first act was to issue General Order No. 3, which began with the powerful words, "The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free." This definitive statement signaled the true end of the Civil War and the beginning of a new chapter of freedom. The impact of this proclamation on the residents of Galveston, and indeed across Texas, was seismic. For the African American community, it was the first authoritative affirmation of their freedom, a momentous occasion that would transform June 19th into Juneteenth, a day of profound significance. Granger's role was not just as a harbinger of freedom, but also as an enforcer of new societal norms. His presence underscored the Union's commitment to upholding the rights of the newly freed individuals and ensuring that the ideals of the Emancipation Proclamation were implemented in full. The first Juneteenth celebrations burst forth with an explosion of joy and relief. June 19, 1865, saw the streets of Galveston transformed as the news of General Order No. 3 spread. For the newly freed slaves, this day represented the culmination of years of pain, hope, and struggle. It was their first taste of true freedom, a day that promised a future of possibilities. The celebrations were spontaneous and heartfelt. Freed men and women indulged in singing spirituals, sharing meals, and even spontaneous dancing on the streets. These expressions of joy were not just celebrations of freedom, but also acts of reclaiming their humanity and agency. It was a communal catharsis, a collective release of decades of suppressed emotions and dreams. Moreover, Juneteenth quickly became a symbol of resilience and resistance. It was a day to honor those who had suffered and survived the horrors of slavery, and to remember those who had fought for freedom. The traditions established during these initial celebrations, such as the wearing of new clothes to symbolize newfound freedom and the preparation of special foods, became enduring elements of Juneteenth observances. These first celebrations set the precedent for what Juneteenth would become, a day to reflect on the past struggles for freedom and to celebrate African American culture and achievements. The echoes of Juneteenth remind us of the long road to freedom and the ongoing journey toward equality. From its origins in Galveston, Juneteenth has become a national symbol of liberation. Celebrations include parades, singing, and readings of the Emancipation Proclamation. It's a day of advocacy, reflecting ongoing struggles for racial justice. Juneteenth stands as both a celebration and a call to action. We celebrate a pivotal moment in history and the enduring strength of the African American community. June 19, 1865, dawned hot and humid in Galveston, Texas, the air thick with the scent of salt and change. For the enslaved African Americans in the region, it was a day like any other, filled with the drudgery of forced labor and the oppressive weight of their reality. Little did they know that by sunset, their lives would be irrevocably altered, forever etched in the annals of history. As the sun climbed higher, whispers began to circulate, carried on the breeze like seeds of hope. Union soldiers, their blue uniforms a stark contrast to the Confederate gray that had dominated the landscape for so long, marched through the streets, their presence a harbinger of transformation. The air crackled with anticipation, a palpable shift in the atmosphere as an undercurrent of excitement rippled through the enslaved community. Word spread like wildfire from plantation to plantation, carried by those who dared to dream of freedom. General Gordon Granger, a stern-faced Union general, stood on the balcony of Ashton Villa, his voice booming as he read aloud General Order No. 3. The words, heavy with the weight of history and hope, declared the freedom of all enslaved people in Texas. The proclamation, though delayed, was a beacon of hope, cutting through the darkness of slavery like a ray of light. It was a promise, a declaration that the chains of bondage had finally been broken. The news, slow to arrive but powerful in its impact, ignited a firestorm of emotions, transforming the day from one of routine into a day of jubilee. Section 2. Freedom's First Light. The initial reaction to General Granger's proclamation was a stunned silence, a collective gasp as the weight of his words sank in. Disbelief etched across the faces of those who had toiled under the yoke of slavery for generations. Could this be true? Could freedom, a concept so long denied, finally be within their grasp? Then, like a dam bursting, the silence gave way to an outpouring of emotion. Tears of joy streamed down weathered faces, cries of jubilation echoed through the streets, and spontaneous celebrations erupted throughout Galveston. The enslaved, now emancipated, embraced one another, their laughter and songs of freedom a testament to the indomitable spirit that had sustained them through centuries of oppression. For many, the realization of freedom was a visceral experience, a physical manifestation of the chains that had been broken. Some ran through the streets, their bare feet touching free ground for the first time. Others knelt down, kissing the earth in gratitude, their tears mingling with the soil that had borne witness to their suffering and their resilience. The air, once thick with the oppressive heat of slavery, now vibrated with the energy of liberation. Juneteenth, a day that would forever be etched in the hearts and minds of African Americans, was born out of the ashes of oppression, a testament to the power of hope and the enduring human spirit. Section 3. The Taste of Liberation. Food, a symbol of sustenance and community, took on special significance on that first Juneteenth. Feasts were prepared, tables laden with dishes that spoke of heritage and resilience. Section 4. Family reunions and the weight of history. Juneteenth was a day for families torn apart by slavery to reunite and reclaim their heritage. Across Texas, journeys were made to find loved ones from whom they had been separated. The reunions were bittersweet, a symphony of laughter and tears. Each reunion was a testament to the enduring power of family. Section 5. Seeds of Tradition, the Genesis of Juneteenth Celebrations. The first Juneteenth celebrations sowed the seeds of traditions passed down through generations. Music, a powerful form of expression, played a central role. The act of gathering was a powerful statement of unity and defiance. Section 6. A promise fulfilled, a journey begun. As the sun set on that first Juneteenth, a sense of hope and trepidation hung in the air. Freedom had arrived, but the journey was far from over. Juneteenth was the beginning of a new chapter in the ongoing struggle for civil rights and equality. Section 1. Juneteenth's Enduring Spirit. The years following the first Juneteenth were a time of immense change for newly freed African Americans. Despite challenges, the spirit of Juneteenth endured. Year after year, Juneteenth celebrations continued, rooted in the core values of freedom, resilience, and community. In urban centers, Juneteenth often took on a more political tone, highlighting the ongoing struggle for civil rights. As decades passed, Juneteenth transitioned from a private commemoration to a public celebration. The Great Migration spread Juneteenth traditions to new cities and towns. The civil rights movement provided another catalyst for the growth of Juneteenth. The establishment of Juneteenth as a state holiday in Texas in 1980 marked a turning point. The Jim Crow era cast a long shadow over Juneteenth celebrations. Despite challenges, Black communities found ways to celebrate their freedom and heritage. In the segregated South, Juneteenth celebrations often took place in separate parks, churches, and community centers. Juneteenth remained a powerful symbol of hope and resilience. The civil rights movement breathed new life into Juneteenth celebrations. The holiday became linked to the fight for equality, serving as a commemoration of past struggles and a rallying cry for ongoing activism. Juneteenth celebrations featured speeches by civil rights leaders and voter registration drives. The holiday became a powerful tool for mobilization, uniting Black communities and their allies. Section 5. Juneteenth in Modern America, a time for reflection and action. In contemporary America, Juneteenth has evolved into a multifaceted holiday. Beyond festivities, Juneteenth provides a crucial opportunity for education and reflection. The holiday serves as a reminder that the fight for equality is far from over. Section 6. Juneteenth, a national holiday, a shared history. The recognition of Juneteenth as a national holiday in 2021 marked a historic milestone. By establishing Juneteenth as a national holiday, America acknowledged the full scope of its history. Juneteenth is a day for all Americans to reflect on the meaning of freedom and the importance of equality. Section 1. A legacy passed down through generations. The story of Juneteenth lives in the hearts and memories of those whose ancestors experienced the liberation firsthand. For many African Americans, Juneteenth is more than a holiday. It's a sacred inheritance. These stories serve as a powerful testament to the enduring human spirit and the transformative power of freedom.
Right is the ring of words.
The power of oral history, Juneteenth through personal lenses. Oral histories, rich with emotion and detail, provide invaluable insights into the lived experiences of those who witnessed Juneteenth firsthand. These firsthand accounts, passed down through families and communities, offer a unique perspective on the holiday's significance, capturing the nuances of that era in a way that written records often cannot. One such account comes from Lula Briggs Galloway, born in Texas in 1895. Her grandmother, emancipated on Juneteenth, shared vivid memories of that day. She said everybody was singing and shouting, Galloway recalled. They was happy, 'cause they was free at last. These simple words, spoken decades after the event, convey the raw emotion and unbridled joy that swept through the newly emancipated. Another poignant account comes from Reverend Ronald Myers, whose great-great-grandfather, Zachariah Myers, was enslaved in Virginia. Upon hearing of his freedom, Zachariah walked over 400 miles to reunite with his family in Texas. This story of determination and the enduring power of family underscores the profound impact of Juneteenth on individual lives. These personal narratives, each unique and powerful, provide a tapestry of experiences that paint a broader picture of Juneteenth's significance. They remind us that history is not just a collection of dates and events, but a living, breathing narrative shaped by the lives and experiences of real people. The evolution of Juneteenth traditions, from freedom to family to future. Juneteenth celebrations have evolved over the decades, reflecting the changing social and cultural landscape of African American communities. While the core values of freedom, heritage, and community remain constant, the ways in which these values are expressed have adapted to reflect the times. In the early years after emancipation, Juneteenth celebrations were often marked by a profound sense of gratitude and relief. The focus was on commemorating the end of slavery and celebrating newfound freedom. Picnics, barbecues, and religious services were common, providing opportunities for communities to come together, share food, and give thanks for their liberation. As time passed, Juneteenth celebrations increasingly incorporated elements of cultural expression and education. Music, dance, and storytelling played a central role, preserving African American traditions and passing them down to younger generations. The holiday became an opportunity to showcase Black excellence, with events highlighting the achievements of African Americans in various fields. In recent years, Juneteenth celebrations have taken on a renewed sense of urgency and purpose, reflecting the ongoing fight for racial justice and equality. While the joy of liberation remains central to the holiday, there is also a growing awareness of the work that still needs to be done to dismantle systemic racism and achieve true equity. The evolution of Juneteenth traditions reflects the dynamic nature of African American identity and the ongoing struggle for liberation. It is a holiday that honors the past, celebrates the present, and looks towards a future where equality and justice prevail for all. Modern Juneteenth Voices, Reflections on Freedom and Equality. Juneteenth resonates deeply, sparking reflection on freedom, slavery's legacy, and racial justice. Today's generation offers diverse perspectives on its significance. For some, it's a time for personal reflection and heritage celebration. Nia Wilson, an entrepreneur, honors ancestors and celebrates progress. It's a reminder of strength and resilience, inspiring progress. Others see it as a call to action for ongoing equality. Marcus Thompson, an activist, says it's a reminder of work still needed. We honor our ancestors by fighting for justice and equality. Juneteenth is both a celebration and a call to action. Dr. Aisha Johnson says it's about acknowledging pain and celebrating resilience. Remembering our past helps us move forward. These perspectives reflect Juneteenth's richness and complexity. The holiday is a platform for dialogue, reflection, and action. Section 5, Juneteenth and the youth carrying the torch of liberation forward. Engaging younger generations in Juneteenth's significance empowers them to become agents of change. Learning about Juneteenth sparks a connection to heritage and a desire to learn more. Educators play a crucial role in incorporating Juneteenth into school curricula. Community organizations find creative ways to engage young people in Juneteenth celebrations. Section 6, Juneteenth's Global Impact, a celebration of freedom beyond borders. While Juneteenth originated in the United States, its message of freedom and resilience resonates far beyond American borders. As the holiday gains international recognition, it serves as a powerful reminder of the global struggle for liberation and the importance of standing in solidarity with marginalized communities around the world. In recent years, Juneteenth celebrations have taken place in countries across Africa, Europe, Asia, and the Americas. These events often incorporate elements of local culture and tradition, while also highlighting the shared history of colonialism, oppression, and the fight for human rights. The international recognition of Juneteenth provides an opportunity to foster dialogue and understanding across cultures, highlighting the interconnectedness of social justice movements and the importance of global solidarity. It also serves as a reminder that the fight for equality is far from over, and that we must continue to challenge injustice and oppression wherever it exists. Juneteenth's global impact is a testament to the enduring power of its message. It is a reminder that the fight for freedom and equality transcends borders, and that we are all connected in the pursuit of a more just and equitable world. As we celebrate Juneteenth, let us do so with a global perspective, acknowledging the struggles of marginalized communities worldwide and reaffirming our commitment to standing together in the fight for liberation. Juneteenth's enduring legacy is a tapestry of freedom and resilience. From Galveston, Texas to a national holiday, it reminds us of hope, resilience, and the pursuit of freedom. Juneteenth is a testament to the indomitable spirit of a people who emerged from oppression with dignity intact. It is woven into American history, a reminder of the ongoing struggle for racial equality, a celebration of African American culture's richness and resilience. Juneteenth reminds us that freedom is a continuous journey towards a just society. It inspires generations to fight for equality and hope for a brighter future. Section 2, Juneteenth in the 21st Century, a call to action for a more just future. As we celebrate Juneteenth in the 21st century, we do so with a renewed sense of urgency and a deep understanding that the fight for racial justice and equality is far from over. The holiday serves as a powerful reminder that the legacy of slavery continues to cast a long shadow over American society, manifesting in systemic racism, economic inequality, and the persistent threat of discrimination and violence. Juneteenth is not just a day for reflection, it is a call to action, a time to recommit ourselves to the pursuit of justice and equality for all. It is a day to challenge ourselves and our communities to dismantle the systems of oppression that continue to marginalize and disadvantage Black Americans and other communities of color. We honor the legacy of Juneteenth by working towards a future where every individual has the opportunity to thrive, regardless of their race, ethnicity, or background. This requires a collective effort to address the root causes of inequality, from disparities in education and healthcare to economic injustice and mass incarceration. Juneteenth challenges us to confront the uncomfortable truths of our nation's past and to actively work towards creating a more just and equitable future. It is a reminder that the fight for freedom is an ongoing process, one that requires constant vigilance, unwavering commitment, and a collective effort to dismantle the structures of oppression and create a world where everyone is truly free. Section 3, Juneteenth, a celebration of progress, a promise of equality. Juneteenth is both a celebration of progress and a promise of equality. It is a day to acknowledge how far we have come as a nation in the fight for racial justice, while also acknowledging how far we still have to go. It is a day to celebrate the resilience, strength, and creativity of Black Americans, while also recognizing the systemic barriers and challenges they continue to face. The national recognition of Juneteenth is a significant step forward, but it is only a first step. It is not enough to simply acknowledge the past. We must actively work to create a present and a future where equality is not just an aspiration, but a reality for all. Juneteenth is a reminder that the fight for freedom and equality is an ongoing journey, a relay race where each generation passes the torch to the next, carrying the flame of hope and determination forward. It is a day to reflect, to celebrate, and to recommit ourselves to the pursuit of a more perfect union, one where all Americans are truly free and equal. As we commemorate Juneteenth each year, let us do so with a spirit of gratitude for those who came before us, a commitment to continuing their legacy, and an unwavering belief in the power of collective action to create a more just and equitable world for all.